In today's video, I'm revealing the Social Security claiming mistakes that have cost some of my clients tens of thousands, sometimes even more, in lost retirement income. Over the years, I've worked with hundreds of pre-retirees and retirees, and I've seen the same pattern again and again. Good people who have made now irreversible claiming decisions because they simply didn't know any better. That's why I'm making this video. I want to show you the hidden traps, the overlooked rules, and the strategies that could add thousands, even hundreds of thousands, to your lifetime Social Security benefits. Let's get right into it. Let's start with the biggest mistake I see: claiming Social Security too early. It's easy to understand why people do it. You're eligible at 62, the money's there, and retirement feels close. But here's what most people don't realize. Claiming early permanently locks in a lower benefit. The problem is that month to month it can look like a small amount. For example, claiming at 65 instead of 66 could reduce your monthly paycheck by about $68. That doesn't sound like much, until you realize it adds up to over $16,000 in lost lifetime benefits, assuming you lived another 20 years, right? And if you claim at 62, you could be locking in a reduction of up to 30% for the rest of your life. That's a 30% reduction from your full retirement age benefit, which is age 67 if you're born after 1960, right? But it's almost a 44% reduction, or nearly half of your maximum benefit if you delayed Social Security benefits until age 70. Each month you wait between 62 and 70 adds more to your benefit. But most people don't do the math. They focus on short-term income instead of long-term impact. And that's where the trouble starts. And for women in particular, who statistically live longer, early claiming is even more expensive over time, right? Life expectancy has increased, but the penalty for claiming early hasn't changed, and that's a dangerous combination. Now, not everyone claims early because they want to. Some are forced into it. For lower income retirees, certain rules can make early claiming feel unavoidable. For example, if you apply for Medicare savings programs, some states require you to also claim Social Security early. Why? Because federal law says you must take all necessary steps to access any retirement income you're eligible for. That includes Social Security. This rule is meant to reduce state spending, but it also creates a trap. Some states like New York have created exceptions or guidance around this. Other states apply the rule strictly with no flexibility. And there's another issue: Medicare premiums. People who delay claiming Social Security often miss the hold harmless protection, meaning that your Part B premium can go up more than what the standard Social Security cost of living adjustment increase would be that year, right? So not only are you delaying your benefit, you're potentially paying more for healthcare. It's no wonder some people feel pressured to claim early, even when it hurts them in the long run. Now that you understand these hidden Social Security claiming traps, click the link in the description for a personalized review. I'll analyze your specific situation and show you the optimal claiming strategy that could add tens of thousands to your lifetime benefits. Another big reason people claim too early: the break-even myth. And here's how it works. You calculate how long it would take for delayed benefits to catch up to early benefits. It sounds logical, but it's flawed because it treats Social Security like an investment instead of what it really is: a guaranteed inflation-protected income stream for the rest of your life. This kind of break-even math ignores the insurance value of waiting, right? Delaying Social Security is a hedge against longevity. Each month you delay is like an investment in your future income, right? It also ignores things like spousal benefits, tax impacts, and real-world inflation. Plus, it assumes constant market returns, which we know isn't reality. So the better approach is to optimize lifetime income, not just look for the quickest payback. When we run models that include longevity risk, spousal coordination, and household cash flow, delayed claiming often wins, especially if one person in the household lives into their 90s. Which brings us to one of the most powerful strategies out there: coordinated claiming. For couples, it's not just about when you claim. It's how you coordinate your claiming ages. When one spouse delays, especially the higher earner, you often unlock more lifetime income and better survivor benefits. This can be especially valuable if there's an age gap or a big difference in lifetime earnings. We also look at something called bridge income. using savings or part-time income to delay claiming while still covering living expenses. Coordinating your Social Security with your other income sources can make a huge difference, especially when you're considering taxes and Medicare premiums. So now that you've seen how strategic claiming coordination can dramatically increase your lifetime benefits, let's examine the framework for figuring out your own optimal strategy. So how do you actually decide when to claim Social Security? We use a framework that looks at your expected longevity, your household retirement cash flow, your other income sources, Medicare premiums, and your tax situation. We run side-by-side comparisons to project how different claiming ages affect your total lifetime benefit. We also factor in life events, like retiring earlier than expected, health changes, or big expenses. Claiming isn't a one-time decision, it's a strategy. And the more flexible and informed you are, the more options you keep open. So let's wrap this up. Claiming Social Security early can permanently reduce your income. It may feel like a small difference month to month, but over a lifetime, it adds up to serious money. Not to mention that your Social Security income tends to be one of your most tax advantaged sources of income, right? Because worst case, in current tax law, only up to 85% of your benefit is included in taxable income, right? There are some people that are not paying any tax on Social Security, some that are including only 50% of their benefit into their taxable income. And like I said, for the highest income earners, only 85% of their benefit is included in their taxable income. Because it is a tax efficient income source, for a lot of people, especially with long life expectancies, it makes sense to maximize this lifetime cost of living adjusted tax efficient income source, right? It's a huge gift. Now, we've also covered how there are hidden traps, confusing rules, and overlooked strategies that can make all of the difference. If you want to help figuring out your best claiming strategy, click the link in the description. We'll go through your situation and we'll show you exactly how to make the most of your benefits. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.